The story starts at night when the streets of the city are empty. A gang of teenagers is trying to escape from the police after stealing a big truck. But at the back of the truck, a gangster wearing a mask is hanging on. His hands are slipping because of sweat, and it looks like he might fall at any moment. Behind them, 2 police cars are chasing like ringing bells. The gangsters' hearts are beating fast. They know if they get caught, they will go straight to jail. When they see the police cars coming from both sides to block them, the driver quickly turns the steering wheel without thinking. The truck turns suddenly with full force onto a new road. Because of this, the gangster hanging at the back falls inside the truck. Another gangster inside quickly catches him and locks the doors to keep them safe. But even then, they couldn't escape from the police. There was chaos on the road everywhere. The police gave them a final warning through a loudspeaker, saying if they don't stop, they will start shooting. But the gangsters refused to stop, so the police began firing. Seeing this, one gangster told the driver to trick the police quickly, or else they would all die. The driver tried his best and suddenly got an idea. He turned the truck back towards the highway, thinking that going on the wrong side might help them escape. But still, one police car was following them closely. Then the gangsters at the back checked the truck and only saw washing machines loaded inside. They quickly opened the truck door and threw a washing machine directly at the police car. The police car got damaged and stopped there, and the teenagers managed to escape. Soon another police car reached there. Officer Jack was inside it, but when he went towards his fellow officer, he was shocked because his partner was badly injured and couldn't even move his hand. Another cop ran quickly to call an ambulance. Jack's face was full of anger and fear. After this, the scene changes to a house in the middle of a dark forest. There, we see Officer Walker. He looks very worried and stressed because he and his 4 colleagues started a zero-cost purchase scheme at a drug factory to make money. But during this, an undercover police agent was accidentally killed. To keep this incident hidden, they put the dead body in an oil drum and threw it into the river. Even though they destroyed the body and removed all evidence, Walker still felt a heavy burden in his heart like a stone. He quickly picked up some money and his gun and went to the city because the next day was Christmas. He went to a small shop to buy a gift for his daughter, but the shop only had cheap things. Walker was forced to pick a few items and went to the counter. At that moment, there was news on the TV where the DA announced that they were taking back all charges against mayor candidate and real estate tycoon Law. Hearing this, Walker's face showed no emotion. When he picked up his things, he asked for a good shopping bag, but the shopkeeper gave him only a white plastic bag and said, "Take it or leave it." Walker had no choice, so he paid and left. As soon as he came outside, he called his ex-wife to give the gifts to his daughter. But his ex-wife made an excuse, saying their daughter was sleeping and even refused to take the gifts. She said angrily, "When we needed you, you left us. So why are you trying to act so kind now?" Then she hung up the call. After this, Walker left with his partner Ellie to go to work. Meanwhile, those teenage criminals were waiting outside a nightclub for someone. Max, who was the driver, started complaining to his friend Charlie. He said, "We only planned to steal a truck full of washing machines to pay off Mia's debt, but this has gone too far. I think I might have killed a police officer." But Charlie, who was a black guy, promised him that if the police officer really died, he would take all the blame himself. This gave Max some relief. Then guards from another gang arrived there. Charlie and his girlfriend Mia took 2 big bags and followed the guards inside the nightclub. Inside, the Triad gang boss, Mark, was sitting. He knew Charlie well, but Mia had once stolen Mark's car by mistake, so they were forced to transport drugs to repay that debt. Mark was most angry because during their job, they had sent a police officer to the ICU, and this could create big problems for him. He ordered his guard Byron to go outside so I can get more details from Charlie. When Byron walked out to a guard, they saw a van arriving there. Inside the van, some people wearing masks were reloading their guns. Max and his friend, who were sitting in the car waiting for Charlie and Anna, also saw them. Max quickly started the car to run away, but his friend said, "We can't leave them behind." Byron also noticed the van. Suddenly, he got a text on his phone saying he should leave there quickly. Reading this, Byron went upstairs to escape through another way. Mia, who was inside, she saw Byron. Before she can follow Byron, suddenly she got a call from Max saying she should take Charlie and leave immediately. Before Mia could react, the masked men outside shot the guard full of bullets and then came inside and killed everyone there. On the other side, when Walker and Ellie were patrolling, they got a message from headquarters saying there had been a gang shootout on a street. Hearing this, Walker quickly turned the car and drove towards that area. When they reached there, an officer told Walker that the suspects had escaped through the stairs and no one saw the van's license plate. Walker went inside and, by looking at the positions of the dead bodies and their bullet wounds, he reconstructed the crime in his mind. The criminals had started shooting as soon as they entered and killed everyone, so no one could survive. Even the crime boss, Mark, was killed on the spot. Thinking all this, Walker understood the whole situation of the crime scene. Then another officer came to him and said that Officer Collins was critically injured and was now in the ICU. The officer thought Walker already knew, but Walker replied that no one had told him. Actually, Collins was an old friend of Walker, and hearing this made Walker very worried. Meanwhile, Ellie found a piece of a mask and gave it to the investigators so they could find some evidence. Then she showed Walker the CCTV footage, saying that the killer might have escaped from the upper floor. When Walker saw the footage, he noticed Charlie's face clearly. He also saw that Charlie was holding a handgun, but there were assault rifle shells at the crime scene, which meant no other victim fired back. This shooting could not have been done with a small handgun, so the real killer was someone else. They were still thinking about it when a lady cop called Walker outside, where a guard was standing. They realized that the guard was not dead and had crawled away to save himself. Walker ordered the lady officer to call all hospitals' ICUs because he was sure the guard went to a hospital for treatment as he had chest injuries. He guessed the guard might be Asian. The guard left to find him, while Walker went for another task. He went to meet Lud, the mayoral candidate, who was Charlie's father. Earlier, Walker had pressured the DA to drop all charges against Lud. Now he directly asked him, "Where is your son?" Lud sadly said that after his wife died, Charlie had grown distant and hadn't lived with him for many years. Hearing this, Walker told him everything, that the Triad's drug deal failed and Charlie might be involved because his face was clearly visible in the CCTV footage. Lud's face turned pale, but still, he said, "My son is not a killer." However, he understood that whether Charlie did it or not, he was now in big trouble because Mark's powerful mother would never leave this matter. He told Walker that if his son didn't get protection, he would be killed just like Mark, and Lud's mayor campaign would also be destroyed. But Walker refused to help him, saying, "I can't do anything because Charlie's face is clearly seen in the footage. He can be arrested anytime." Then Lud threatened Walker with his dirty secrets. He said, "I know everything you and your 5 friends did. I have all the evidence. If you don't help me, you won't be saved either." Walker had no other choice, so he made a deal with Lud. He said, "After I save Charlie, we will become strangers forever. There will be no more deals between us, and we will never come into each other's lives again. If you agree, I will bring Charlie back." Lud immediately agreed. Then Walker set out to find Charlie. The next morning, when Mark's mother Mary heard about her son's death, she quickly arrived there with her guards. As soon as she saw her son's dead body, she could do nothing but cry. Then, filled with anger, she moved towards Byron, snatched a guard's gun, and shot all of Byron's guards. After that, she pointed the gun at Byron, but she didn't shoot him because she wanted her son's killer. Then Byron said that he knew who had killed her son. Hearing this, Mary canceled her plan to kill him. On the other side, Walker reached a back alley clinic in Chinatown during heavy rain. There, he saw a guard fighting with an unknown man outside the clinic. Walker quickly went to them, knocked the guard down without wasting any time, and put his gun on the guard's head to make him open the clinic's lock. When he went inside, he saw that a Triad guard was being treated there. As soon as that guard saw Walker, he tried to run away. But Walker quickly grabbed him and asked him the whole truth. At first, the guard stayed silent, but when Walker pressed on his wounds, he screamed in pain and said that some masked people had come and killed Mark and his men. But Walker didn't believe his words. He felt the guard was lying. Then he showed him a photo of Charlie and asked, "Do you know him?" In a weak voice, the guard said, "No, I don't know him. Those demon masked men did everything." Saying this, he fainted. Then Walker looked angrily at the doctor and threatened him. "When this guard came here, you should have called me. Why did you take so long? Is this why we pay you?" The doctor stayed silent and Walker left. But as soon as Walker left the clinic, the doctor looked at the guard and killed him so that there would be no problems in the future. After leaving the clinic, Walker went straight to the hospital to check on his friend Colin. There he saw 3 more of his old friends who used to commit crimes with him. Now only Walker was left working as a patrol officer, while the rest were narcotics detectives. Then Jack told Walker that they had found the stolen truck and Charlie, the prime suspect, would soon be caught. But Walker reminded him about Lud, saying, "Will you really go against him when he knows everything about us?" Hearing this, Jack stepped back silently. Walker then went to check on Colin, where Colin's wife was sitting beside him, crying. Walker tried to comfort her and said, "Colin will be fine soon, don't worry," which calmed her down a bit. She told Walker that during surgery, when Colin was unconscious, he kept repeating the same words. "The 5 of us should never have gone there." She said she didn't understand what he meant. Hearing this, Walker felt guilty too, but said, "Don't think too much about it. Colin had nothing to do with this. It's not serious. But when the doctor took Colin's wife aside, Walker had a flashback of that night when they had accidentally shot an undercover cop. Everyone was shocked when they saw the cop had an eavesdropping device. Walker wanted to take him to the hospital, but Jack finished him off with a single bullet. Meanwhile, Mia and Charlie went to her uncle Raul to get fake passports made. Raul warned them, "You two should hide for now because every TV channel is talking about you. That rich boyfriend's dad might save him, but you will get caught." But Mia had no choice and said she couldn't leave Charlie alone. Her uncle then gave her a burner phone and told her to wait for instruction. Back at the police station, Ellie showed Walker a piece of the mask he found at the crime scene and said it was a hockey mask the killers wore. Walker told him everything the guard had confessed, that masked demons had come and killed everyone. While they were talking, Walker noticed a woman's photo on Ellie's computer screen and asked, "Who is she?" Ellie replied, "She's Mary, the mother of the Triad boss who was killed. She's here with her men for her son's funeral." At that moment, their superior arrived and angrily scolded Walker. "You know Charlie is behind all this, yet you're hiding the case while your friend Cortez is fighting for his life. From now on, you're off this case." He then ordered Ellie to inform Officer Richardson that he would lead the case. Walker quickly stopped Ellie and asked if he found anything about the girl. Ellie refused, saying, "You lied to me. I can't tell you anything now." But Walker convinced him, and Ellie told him that the girl's name was Anna, and she was last seen at a graveyard belonging to her uncle Raul. Hearing this, Walker left for that location. Meanwhile, Lud was stuck in traffic and felt something bad was about to happen. His feeling came true when a gang of bikers arrived and started firing at his car, killing his guards and driver instantly. Everyone panicked, and his secretary tried to run but was shot dead too. The bikers approached Lud, who looked terrified, but just before they could kill him, they got a call. They handed Lud the phone, and on the other side was Mary, burning with revenge for her son's death. She said, "Just like my son died, now your son will die too." Lud was confused and asked, "Who are you?" But before he could get an answer, more guards arrived, grabbed him, and dragged him away while the bikers left. Meanwhile, Walker reached the place Ellie mentioned. Seeing Walker, Raul ran inside while his men tried to stop Walker. But Walker took out his gun and police badge, saying, "I'm a cop," so they let him pass. Inside, Raul tried to hide Anna's passport, but Walker quickly caught him and asked where Mia was. Raul said he didn't know. Walker asked, "Then why are you making a fake passport for her if you don't know her location?" Raul stayed silent. Walker then pointed his gun at him and said, "You will tell me everything. Without protection, she won't survive even one night. If you want to save her, tell me where she is." After thinking for a while, Raul agreed and told Walker that he gave Mia a phone and she would call him soon. Walker quickly asked for Raul's phone. Raul unlocked it and gave it to him. But then Raul saw police cars outside on the CCTV and started suspecting Walker, asking, "Who are you, really?" Walker replied, "I'm a cop too, but when these cops come in, act like you don't know me." Raul agreed. But as soon as the police officers entered, Walker pointed his gun at Raul and told them, "He has a gun." The officers immediately arrested Raul while Walker calmly walked away. On the other side, Mary called Byron to her again and asked him, "Where were you when my son was killed?" Byron replied that Mark had fired him because he had disagreed with the deal involving Lud's son. Then Byron changed the topic and blamed Mia, saying, "You should target Mia first, then Charlie will come to you himself." While they were talking, Max arrived there and said, "Please spare my life. That day I was only in the car. I don't know what happened inside." But Mary was very angry, and Byron felt scared in his heart, thinking that if Mary found out the whole truth, she would kill him. Then Max said, "I will take you to Mia, but please let me live." Mary agreed. On the other side, Mia was on a train when she received a text saying her passport was ready and she should come to Medusa Club at 8 p.m. to collect it. Mia quickly got off the train, looked around nervously to check if anyone was following her, and then went towards Medusa Club. Walker also got out of his car and followed her inside the club. Inside, he couldn't see Mia at first. He searched every corner of the club and finally found her. When he went near her to give the passport, Mia saw him and tried to run away. But Walker caught her and said, "I'm not your enemy. I'm a police officer. Just tell me where Charlie is right now. His father sent me here to save him." But Mia still didn't tell him the truth. At that moment, Walker's friend Jack and his team entered the club. Mia said, "These are the same 3 men who came that evening wearing masks to kill Mark." Walker asked her, "Are you sure it's them?" Mia said, "I myself removed the mask from one of their faces during the fight." Then Walker understood everything. He told Mia to stay behind him. When Jack reached them, he said to Walker, "Hand over the girl to us." But Walker refused and said, "Since when did you guys start playing hockey?" Hearing this, Jack's men became suspicious. They told Walker to step aside as they only wanted the girl. While they were talking, Mary's men also entered the club. Walker was forced to take out his gun, and a long fight started between the cops and Mary's guards. Both sides killed each other brutally. Seeing this, Mia tried to run away, but Mary's men chased her. Walker started fighting them one by one to stop them from reaching Mia, but there were too many of them, and soon they caught Mia. When Walker saw Mia's life was in danger, he jumped in and started killing the gangsters. Seeing this, Mia also started fighting alongside him. Both of them fought together bravely, but before they could escape from Mary's men, Jack and his friends stood up again and blocked their way. At that moment, Charlie and Raoul entered the club. Mia quickly ran towards Charlie while Walker started shooting at his own friends to stop them from getting in their way. As soon as Mia reached Charlie, Walker also came and told Charlie the whole truth, but Charlie pushed Walker away. Walker had no choice, so he pointed his gun at Mia and told Charlie everything, saying, "Your father sent me here to save you." Before Charlie could understand anything, Mary's men got up again and attacked them. Raoul quickly pulled out his gun and started fighting back. At the same time, Jack also rejoined the fight, and soon bullets were flying everywhere. Charlie took out his gun and started firing too, but Walker hit his hand and pushed him back to keep him safe. After the intense fight, their group tried to escape from the club quickly. However, 2 policemen entered the club and caught one of Mia's friends. Walker tried to show them his badge, saying, "I'm a cop too," but they didn't believe him and ordered everyone to drop their weapon. Before Walker could explain anything, Mary's left-hand assassin girl entered and killed both policemen along with Mia's friend. The group had no choice but to run back inside the club, but from inside too, they faced heavy gunfire. Raoul, desperate to save Mia, was ready to give up his life. He pushed Mia further inside for safety and held the door firmly against Mary's men. Before they could break the door down with bullets, Charlie grabbed Mia and pulled her away. Mary's men then riddled Raoul's back with bullets, killing him brutally. Meanwhile, Walker was still fighting Jack and his men. Charlie and Mia rushed to open the back exit door. As soon as they managed to open it, the group ran outside, but outside was no safer. There was chaos as police and Mary's men fought each other. Walker hurried towards their car, but the assassin girl came out of the club and started firing at them. Walker fired back and shouted at Charlie to get in the car quickly. Charlie and Mia jumped in, but then Charlie noticed Max being held by Mary's men. Despite seeing him, Charlie ignored Max and got in the car. Walker reversed the car quickly, trying to escape, but the assassin girl continued firing, and Jack and his partner also emerged from the side door, shooting at them. Walker turned into a narrow street to get away safely. As they escaped, the assassin girl went back towards the club and, while passing by, shot Max dead on the spot. After this, the entire police team arrived at the crime scene. While driving, Walker called Ellie and told her, "Jack's trio are the real masterminds." That night, they weren't recovering a stolen truck. They were chasing drugs. They killed Mark and stole the drugs. Ellie was shocked but still trusted Walker. He ordered her to go to the hospital and keep an eye on Colin, as he was the last remaining witness. Ellie immediately left for the hospital. Meanwhile, Walker took Charlie and Mia to a safe place. At the same time, Jack called Byron, who was already at the hospital, to kill Colin. When Ellie reached the hospital, he asked at the counter for Colin's room number. Before getting an answer, he noticed on the CCTV that Byron had taken out his gun and was ready to shoot Colin. Ellie quickly asked the nurse for the floor number and told her to send security there immediately. Meanwhile, on the 3rd floor, the alarm rang and the guard stood up, looking around. Byron came in front of him and shot him multiple times. He then shot Colin too. As Byron turned around to leave, Colin's wife appeared, terrified. Ellie had also reached the 3rd floor by then, so Byron grabbed Colin's wife as a shield to escape. As Ellie moved forward, Byron pushed the woman towards him and started firing to keep Ellie away. But Ellie, furious, chased Byron. They exchanged heavy gunfire until finally Ellie managed to shoot Byron down. He grabbed Byron and put him in the car to take him in for questioning. Meanwhile, Walker took Charlie and Mia to a safe house. There, he called Charlie's father to tell him that his son was safe and asked him to come and take Charlie away. He shared the location, but Walker had no idea that it wasn't Lud on the call. It was Mary listening in because she had already kidnapped Lud. Realizing Lud didn't respond, Walker understood that Lud was in their custody. Meanwhile, Mary, with Lud and her entire team, left for the location Walker had just revealed. Meanwhile, Ellie, holding Byron as leverage, sets up a plan to catch Jack and his partner. As soon as Jack arrives near an old train station, he asks Byron, "Where are the dealers?" Byron replies, "They'll be here soon." But suddenly, Ellie steps out from behind a train carriage and points his gun at Jack and his partner, ordering them, "Drop your weapons." Reluctantly, Jack and his partner throw their guns down. Inside the cabin, Walker prepares himself fully for the upcoming battle with Mary. Charlie tells Walker, "I won't go back to my father. I'd rather die than go back to him as a defeated son." Their conversation is cut short when Mary's men arrive and open heavy fire on them. The group is forced to retreat back into the cabin. Walker quickly tosses a handgun towards Mia, telling her to protect herself, while he picks up a shotgun and starts blasting the enemies. As more men try to enter, Walker notices them and blows them away with his shotgun. But their numbers keep increasing. Charlie has no choice but to pick up a gun too, and joins Walker and Mia in fighting back. No matter how many they kill, more enemies keep pouring in. Just as they think they've cleared the cabin, some enemies burst through the floorboards and start shooting upwards. Walker barely saves himself and shoots them all dead. Then he signals the group to run towards the exit door, but that way is blocked too, with enemies approaching from the front. Walker tries to take them down quickly, but his gun runs out of ammo. Without wasting time, he grabs a hook lying nearby and starts fighting them hand to hand. He manages to kill a few, but even more enemies keep arriving. Now completely out of weapons, Walker becomes helpless. Meanwhile, some enemies manage to grab Mia and start dragging her away. Charlie fights desperately to save his girlfriend, but their numbers are too overwhelming. They drag Mia out of the cabin while Walker tries to help Charlie, but at that moment, the assassin girl enters. Walker is forced to fight her instead. Their battle is tense and brutal. Soon, Walker loses his balance and Linda, the assassin girl, slams him hard against the wooden pillar, leaving him unable to stand. She quickly picks up a knife to finish him off. As she moves in to strike, Walker desperately reaches out and grabs an arrow gun lying nearby. Without a moment's delay, he fires it straight at her. The arrow pierces right through Linda's neck, killing her instantly. On the other side, Charlie and Mia are captured and brought before Mary. Soon, Mary arrives with Lud in tow. As soon as Lud sees his son, he breaks down completely, but Mary's guards don't let him go forward. Mary takes a gun from one of her guards, loads a bullet, and gives it to Lud, intending to play a cruel game, making Lud shoot Mia himself. Lud stands trembling with the gun in his hand. Quickly, Charlie steps forward and says, "Kill me instead. Leave Mia out of this." But Lud can't gather the courage to pull the trigger. Mary angrily orders him to shoot, but at that very moment, Ellie throws the bags of drugs on the ground and drags Jack and Byron out in front of everyone, exposing the entire conspiracy. For a moment, Mary is stunned. She turns to Byron in rage, yelling, "How could you betray my son like this?" Byron spits on the ground and snarls, "I deserved to run the gang after the boss's death, but you handed it over to your son instead." He admits that he was working with the cops, but they were dirty cops, involved in all this from the start. Walker, hidden nearby, listens to everything. Suddenly, Jack tries to slip away, distracting Ellie. Vince lunges forward, tackling Ellie and grabbing a nearby gun, aiming it directly at Charlie. Seeing his son in danger, Lud jumps in front of Charlie, taking all the bullets meant for him. Walker, in fury, crawls towards a gun and fires at Vince, but none of his bullets hit. Chaos erupts as Jack picks up a gun and starts firing at Walker, trying to finish him off. Meanwhile, a dying guard throws a gun towards Byron. Byron picks it up and shoots Mary dead. Jack quickly arrives and starts firing at all the remaining guards, forcing Byron to hide. Once Jack finishes them off, Byron grabs a gun and shoots at Jack, but Jack shoots him multiple times in return. Even then, Byron doesn't die instantly. Jack walks up, grabs a drug bag from beside him, and starts to leave, thinking Byron will bleed out on his own. Walker sees Jack walking away and picks up his gun to follow him. At the same time, Ellie and Vince are still locked in a fierce fight. Both are highly skilled, but just when Ellie gains the upper hand, his gun runs out of ammo. Vince laughs darkly and gets up to finish him off, but at the last moment, Charlie arrives and empties an entire magazine into Vince, killing his father's killer once and for all. Meanwhile, Jack tries to board a moving train to escape, but Walker arrives just in time and shoots at him, making Jack fall to the ground. Furious, Jack shouts, "You're no saint either! Why won't you let me go?" Walker replies coldly, "Because I'm done running. Everyone knows what you've done." Jack secretly grabs his gun and fires at Walker, but Walker fires back at the same time, killing Jack completely. However, Walker is also hit by a bullet and falls to his knees on the railway tracks. Standing wounded, Walker looks down in exhaustion as Ellie approaches and asks, "What do we do now?" Walker replies, "Let Charlie and Mia go before the cops arrive and arrest them." Ellie nods and quickly tells Charlie and Mia to run. As they flee into the darkness, dozens of police cars arrive on the scene with flashing lights. The camera closes in on Walker, standing bleeding and defeated on the railway track. And here, the story ends. If you like this explanation, please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next recap. Until then, bye.